Hello everyone, I'm Yahu. Many people ask me what can I do if I want to build wealth from scratch. In fact, the book Rich Dad Poor Dad clearly tells us the method. It is to transform from an employee and a self-care person into an entrepreneur and an investor. That being said, how? First of all, investment. There's no denying that investment is the fastest way to make many people rich. But to be honest, there's still a lot of time to learn to use leverage, and there will be countless failures in the process. Because even the best technology is difficult to resist the greed and fear of human nature in our hearts. Therefore, investing in this role is very difficult for people who do not have much money. Isn't that a chance? Because without money, you can't do anything, let alone become an entrepreneur. So, all we have to do is get the first part of goal first. Next, I will tell you the specific method directly, although it's not possible for you to become an entrepreneur right away. But I can guarantee that as long as you learn this skill of mine, you are fine with making a little money first. When you have capital, you have to do whatever entrepreneur and investor you want because the fault tolerance rate is high, right? So what is this skill? It is a skill that a lot of people look down on. Let me give you an example. There are two famous painters. One is called Picasso and the other is called Van Gogh. What do these two painters have in common? That is, their paintings are particularly good, unparalleled in the world, and are sought after people all over the world. So what's the difference between these two painters? The difference is that Picasso's paintings sell very well. So Picasso was a very rich man. Although Van Gogh painters are also very top-notch, he couldn't sell these paintings. So he ended up poor and couldn't afford to eat. You see, also two famous painters, but the result of acquiring wealth in the end is completely different. So, to put it bluntly, in fact, all industries need to sell. It doesn't matter what position you are in or what industry you are in. Successful people in this world must be a sales master. If you don't sell your own products, you are not. So today, if you see this film and understand it, you will quickly improve your sales capabilities, because these are the things that I spend a lot of money going on to learn. It also combines with my practical experience. Some of the hard method with a very high goal content. Today, I will share it with you without reservation. If you are still interested in sales after watching this film, you can leave me a comment. I will make more films on this in the future. But before I begin, I will stress it out. This channel is dedicated to entrepreneurs, capitalists, and the rich. If you want to get this information for free, you might consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the little bell. I sincerely wish my brothers and sisters who have pressed this far reach wealth freedom early. I also hope that everyone can selflessly share the fun, let more people get blessings. Well, without further ado, let's go straight to the dry goods. First of all, we must have a basic concept. It is necessary to distinguish whether a person is a master of sales or not. It is often not the person's sales pitch. It is about whether that person can adjust to this step. A lot of people think that people who sell well, people with strong mouths, they will say a lot of funny things and guide customer to pay. In fact, no, just like athletes, the fastest runners are often just a few people. And why do I sometimes tag first? Sometimes he tag first. It is up to you to see if you can adjust your step. Do you know whether it is a track and field athlete, basketball player, or a boxer? Before the game, I will do an action. It's brainwash myself. Tell yourself that you're the best, that you are the fastest person in the world. You can KO him in the first turn. The same is true of what we learn to do in sales. Have you ever seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street? The good thing about this movie is that it is a real thing. It describes the skill of sales to the fullest. And the most classic in it is the founding song. Did you find that? This song is the secret of the male protagonist.
From nothing to something into anything.
Because this song brings confidence to the male protagonist. Let him not be nervous anymore. This is a different way to play chicken blood. Everyone is different. What I want to emphasize is why all the insurance companies, real estate companies, and so on, anyone who does sales will give you chicken blood. Some say it is brainwashing. That's right. This is brainwashing. Who in every successful entrepreneur isn't brainwashing? which of the ads you see isn't brainwashing you? If you wouldn't brainwashed by him, how would you buy a product? By his services? We just want to learn to brainwash ourselves, to brainwash other people's brains, not to brainwash by others. Do you understand? You know, brainwashing is definitely not a negative word. It's just that people use this word badly. This thinking is very valuable as long as we can get rid of the fact of being brainwashed. We are rich. And before brainwashing others, the first step is to brainwash your own brain. When you don't believe in yourself, how can others believe you, right? Many people say that does chicken blood really works? What role can beating chicken blood and encouraging yourself play? The answer is to change your subconscious. In fact, people are divided into two kinds of consciousness. One is the conscious and the other is called the subconscious. The conscious mind can distinguish between true and false, while the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between true and false. For example, there was a person who told you today that you are dressed too beautiful, too handsome. At this time, you'll find that you have two feelings in your own heart. The first feeling is through your consciousness. You'll find out that this guy is deliberate and he is slapping his ass. At the same time, you have another feeling. It is that you can't help but feel very happy. You see, the feeling that you are happy is actually that your subconscious mind is determining you. Although your consciousness can distinguish between true and false, your subconscious cannot distinguish between true and false. You know it is a slap in the ass, but what? You are just happy. It is like walking on a glass bridge, you know you can't fall because your consciousness tells you that it has glass to support you so that you can't fall. But why are you still so scared? It is because your subconscious is telling you that you are about to fall. So you find that people who are afraid of heights are very afraid. He can't do anything. He can't control himself. That's the subconscious. And the only way to change your subconscious mind is to brainwash yourself and help yourself fight chicken blood. I tell you, in fact, playing chicken blood is just the label we gave later. I prefer to explain it in terms of the universal law of attraction. The key to the law of attraction is to believe you already have it. For example, as long as you believe that you are a rich person, you will attract wealth. It is like an actor taking on a role. If you take on the role of a rich man, you are going to do what the rich would do. So why did I study a lot of successful people in college? I just want to imitate them and let myself take on the role of the rich. Let the universal law of attraction help me bring wealth. So if we want to improve our sales skills, we must know how to change our subconscious mind through the so-called way of beating chicken blood. Even if you are not the best, but when you help yourself after chicken blood or brainwashing, you'll find yourself much better. You really have a feeling. Why do you feel angry when people scold you? That's the way it is. When you chat with someone else, the other people will inadvertently brainwash you. Your subconscious will be affected. So what kind of people and information will you choose to be brainwashed by? Are they the people who say every day that they don't see the future? Or is it a bunch of people who are constantly trying to change their destiny and have the mind of a rich man? Do you know this was helped to sift out most of the poor, because it is impossible for poor people to agree with my idea. Well, when you adjust to the step, the next step is to build trust. What does that mean? We all know that when it comes to selling customers, without building trust, it is hard to sell your products. You think if there's someone coming to sell you a product, you don't know him, would you buy something from him? No more, because your subconscious tell you not to talk to strangers. Strangers may lie to you, right? Simply put, it is because there is no sense of trust. Just to remember that we spend 80% of our time building trust with our customers. As long as you make the customer believe in you, then he will have a great probability of paying the bill. And if the customer doesn't believe you, you can say the product well, even if the product itself is really good. Even if the price is indeed very favorable, your turnover rate will not be very high. Let me give you an example. If you think rationally, in fact, everything we live in is in sales, even our love. It is just that we are not selling products, we are selling ourselves. For example, if we boys see a girl we don't know on the street, you think she is beautiful. So you just run over and confess to her, make her your girlfriend, or even propose to her. You think there's a high probability that this girl will agree to you? Of course, if you do, you will definitely feel that the probability of success is very large. Otherwise, you would not have done it. But everyone knows that this situation will only happen in the plot of idol dramas. Reality does this, basically fail. Even the girl who asks if you have a neurosis, why is there such phenomenon? Quite simple, because she doesn't know you. So what's the right thing to do? You are going to go out there and ask her for call first, then ask her how to talk about him, watch movies, engage in ambiguity, and so on. In the end, the relationship will naturally escalate. At this time, you confess to her and propose. Is it a higher chance of success? Because you have been around for a long time, you have given this girl time to get you to know you. You also know this girl, so it will be easier to success, right? Everyone knows the truth, but it's definitely not nonsense. I've seen countless people say to customers as soon as they come out and do sales, our company has a special product of cattle. Do you want to consider buying it? Then, this is not like you directly on the street to find a woman and then just confess and propose to her. Therefore, the key to sales to build a sense of trust. Make customers believe in you and like you. So what to do? When we think about problem, we must first understand what the core of the problem lies. The first step for you to get your customer to trust you is to let him figure out who you are first. We all know that a lot of times we only have a few minutes to talk to our customers. So how can I tell who I am in a short period of time? Actually, I tell you, it doesn't matter who you are. What matters is who the customer feels you are in such a short period of time. All we can do is to show one of our own results. You want to let customers see your strength directly? Your strength. In layman's terms, it is to be loaded. You have to dress how you behave. Let customer instantly feel that you are trustworthy person. For example, if you just come out to start business, you sign contracts with customer, and when you came to the scene, you think you are going to success this time because you've been talking to this customer on the phone for a few days. He also expressed interest in your product, and when you came to the scene of the signing, the other party drove a luxury car until you got off the bus. At this time, do you think that customer is panic? Tens of millions of dollars of business will stop in an instant because he wanted to reinvestigate you as a person. It's really like this. You have to talk about big business. You have to rent a car to talk about. This is really how business is played. This is the unspoken rule I have realized. So we have to learn to sell, do business, or chase girls. Dressing up is very important. As the saying goes, both us rely on God to dress people by clothes. That's why a lot of people like to buy luxury goods, buy some high-end watches, bags, belts, and so on. The purpose of this is not to show off wealth, nor is there too much money to spend. Instead, it is through this dress to hint at some information about the other party. Let the other person's subconscious feel that you are a powerful person. Before you can speak, you feel your worth. I know at this time many people must say, Yahu, I can't afford these outfits. In fact, it's mainly to see what level your customers are. If you are an ordinary person, you will just have to buy a few clothes and look more expensive. Then, if it is a relatively large customer, at the very least, you must have a suit that can see people. So buy the head office, alright? Although I do not recommend that you buy a cottage version from the principal. But I know a lot of self-made big boss who also wear cottage. Although they are rich on the surface, in fact, they still have the blood on the pore in their bones. They want to save money on that, but I will not discriminate against them because to be a human being, you must know how to combine virtual and real. This is also their way of survival. You can think about it. Then, after all of the above is done, it is necessary to understand the needs and desires of customers. First of all, again, you don't start talking about what you are selling. I also mentioned it just now because as long as you talk about the product, the other person's subconscious will immediately build a firewall in the mind. Just keep you up. He would think that you approached me to sell me something, to make money from me, and then whatever you say, he basically won't believe it. So, what should be done? We should find a way to grasp the data of this customer first. You can first consider his stress. Is he rich or poor? To gauge his ability to consume. This is called cold reading. Then I open my mouth to talk to him about some non-malicious topics. For example, talk about family, talk about career, talk about financial situation. You can roughly guess from his answer what kind of person he is, what level he is, find out what kind of situation he really is in. Is she a person who pays for her family? What do you usually like to do leisure? The most important thing is that we know if he is a decision maker. If she is not a decision maker, you don't have to talk to him. Then during a simple chat, you have to know his core values. Like I had a friend who went to buy a house. This agent directly asked my friend what special requirements he may have. Asked my friend to look for him after he is done. So my friend said that he hoped to find some places with a basketball court nearby. He especially hopes that when he comes home from work, he can still play ball. The agent immediately said, "No problem," and then took him to see the house at that time. In fact, the houses he recommended were very problematic. For example, my friend thinks the toilet is a little small. Do you know how the agent answered? He said it doesn't matter. You don't often stay in the toilet, right? Most importantly, there's a basketball court downstairs. How important the basketball court is? Then my friend thought the kitchen was a little smaller. The agent said it didn't matter. Usually you are also one or two people cooking, right? Friends came. It was good to go out to eat, mainly with basketball courts. It was difficult to find. No matter what question my friend asked, he is dissatisfied with this dissatisfaction or dissatisfaction. This intermediary will only say one word. It doesn't matter. The key is to have basketball court. Basketball court are very important. Finally, my friend paid a check on the same day. Why? Because there is a basketball court. It is the core value for him. So finding the core value of the customer is the most important. Do you understand? Of course, the most basic thing is that you must understand your own products. Whether you are working or studying business, you have to know exactly where the advantage of the product or services you want to sell are. How can I help others? Be well prepared. Even if you are going to sell yourself, you need to understand your own characteristics first. You have something worth liking and then find a way to amplify this value when the time comes. In addition, knowledge about craft and expertise. You want to make your customer feel as good as possible that you are an expert in the field. Go talk to him and help him solve some problems. Of course, when talking, you must keep looking for it. What exactly does it have? Find out what he needs. What was the most difficult thing in her family he was currently? If he used my products, what can I help him with? Keep discovering it through chat. For example, I share information about entrepreneurship and investing on YouTube. Help everyone achieve wealth freedom. I used to be a man with nothing. I wasn't born into a wealthy family either, and no one taught me how to make money since I was a kid. When I was in college, I came out to work and found that I was not able to be an employer because I feel like my man is better than those bosses. Why should I help him make money instead of helping myself? I know the pain of not having money, and the only thing that can change my fate is to start my own business. But I don't know how to get started, so I read a book when other people are playing. I basically read 100 books a year and look for answers in the books left by my predecessors. I hope you have some understanding. If you have any question, you can leave me a comment. As long as you can find a sentence or two in what I said today, it will be useful. I'll be satisfied to be able to help my life be better. Well, if you don't want to miss anything about being rich, entrepreneur, investor, free information for reaching wealth freedom, I still appeal to you to subscribe to my channel and then turn on the little bell. Then selflessly share the fun. I sincerely wish the brothers and sisters who like this fun to reach wealth freedom as soon as possible. Well, we will see you next week. Bye.